Although, obviously, and we alluded to this, Rob, we didn't get specific, but there are things happening today that are horrible. And during this pandemic, and one of them was you saw a man named Ahmaud Arbery in Georgia get gunned down by two vigilante, Ahmaud's black, two vigilante guys, white, and hopefully justice is served. But LeBron James just tweeted about it 2 hours ago. It's got over 116,000 likes. But here's what he said. We're literally hunted every day, every time, and that's in all caps, every day, every time we step foot outside the comfort of our homes. Exclamation point. Can't even go for a damn jog, man. Like, WTF, what the, man, are you kidding me? No, man, for real. Are you kidding me? That's in all caps. Are you kidding me? I'm sorry, Ahmaud. Rest in paradise, and my prayers and blessings sent to the family. So I salute LeBron.
Horrific. The video is horrific.
It's ridiculous. And I salute LeBron for putting that out there. I mean, it's been out there before, addressing it. I haven't seen, I don't know if any other, I imagine another athlete or two may have addressed it, but I haven't seen it. So props to LeBron for doing that. And it's got to stop, man. I mean, these dudes got to go to jail. Period. That dude, the video, right? He's jogging.
Right.
So we have seen black people. We talk about driving while black, right? We've seen black people get killed while praying. So we can't pray because in church we've seen that.
Yep.
We've seen them get killed jogging. We've seen them get killed for selling loose cigarettes, which was illegal, but is that worth dying for?
A loose cigarette that goes for 50 cents, Chris. That is, and then the contrast is the pictures at the Michigan State Capitol where people armed showed up to the governor's place of work because they're unhappy that the governor doesn't want to open up the state of Michigan because of the coronavirus. Armed.
And they
weren't stopped at the door.
With kid gloves. Didn't the president say they're good people?
This is what we're talking about. These are the things.
There's a lot of different aspects to racism. But one aspect is when you believe that because of your skin color, race, ethnicity, whatever it may be, that you have certain rights and privileges that other people, other races should not have. And when you see black people getting killed unarmed, and there are other videos of black kids getting manhandled by the cops, unarmed, for just loitering or something. And then you see whites with guns at the Capitol.
Yep. To go see the governor. They went to go talk to her, I guess, with guns.
Right. Can you believe it? If a bunch of brothers rolled up there with guns wanting to talk to the governor, it'd be a race war.
It would be crazy.
That is racism at its core. It is, people are saying it's okay for whites to carry guns and do what they want to do, but it's not okay for blacks. Because if blacks do that, when blacks have guns, they're viewed as criminals. And they're not viewed as, it's their constitutional right. And I'm generalizing, but in a lot of cases, they're viewed as thugs and criminals. And that's got to stop.
It really does. And the one that still stands with me, Chris, and I don't know if you remember it, I want to say it was like in Charlotte or Carolina or something, the cops pull a guy over at a convenience store, one cop, and he stops the guy, asks the guy for his driver's license.
I saw that. In a white truck, right?
And the guy reaches in. He didn't have it. He had on sweatpants. He didn't have his wallet in his pocket. He asked for his license. When he went to get his wallet, reached in, the guy shot him. Yes. And I just thought to myself,
6 times, I believe.
Yes,
I may
really?
be wrong about that, but yeah, shooting at the dude. Yes. And I'm getting my wallet.
You asked me for my ID. I reach in to get my wallet. I mean, he had sweatpants. He didn't have his wallet in his pocket. I just, once we get to that point, it's It's painful.
How about Philando Castile when he's in there with the mother of his child and his 4-year-old daughter in the back seat, and he tells the cop, "I have a gun, but I'm reaching for my wallet. I'm letting you know."
You're supposed to let them know. I'm licensed to carry a gun. I have a gun.
Shot him right there in cold blood. Right there in cold blood. I mean, that's bad enough. And then you did it in front of the mother of his child and the child.
Traumatized forever.
Come on, man. If you can't see the racism in this madness, then you just a racist. That's all there is to it. That's it. Period. And this stuff has got to stop. Black people aren't making junk up when they complain about the injustices.
And you know what's crazy? Is for a long time, Chris, without the cameras, without all that stuff, they fought back. He tried to escape. He did this. He did that. Now you're seeing it. It's harder for people to like turn a blind eye.
Right.
We're seeing it for ourselves. We got the video. Don't forget, Rodney King was on video, Chris, and those cops were acquitted.
Yep.
In Orange County, California. George Bush, the daddy, was the one who sent in a special prosecutor to get those cops retried for civil rights violations. Do you remember that, Chris?
Yep.
They were acquitted. They saw the videotape of Rodney King. You never seen that? Go watch it. He's in chains being beat to a pulp, not fighting back. That's not what they said. That wasn't a report.
Right.
That's all.
No.
Okay.
Nah, it's unbelievable, man. And it's just gotta stop. It's gotta stop. Black people, and I don't know if some people feel like they're afraid black people are gonna retaliate or something. Black people have fought for this country, built the country for free. Obviously under duress, but built the country for free, have fought for this country. A caller earlier mentioned who? Jesse Owens. Jesse Owens went to the Olympics on behalf of this country, embarrassed Adolf Hitler on behalf of this country.
Yep.
And when he got back to America, they treated him like a pauper, a criminal, wouldn't hire him, give him a job. He had to resort to racing horses, like on foot,
to earn a living
against a horse to earn a living.
Like a circus act.
Yes.
That's what he was. I got a better one for you, and I always say, same thing. People always try to say black people aren't patriotic. Really?
We're the most patriotic.
Really? And we're in a country that make up 13% and make up about 25% of the military out of a 13% population, Chris.
Yep.
And, you ready? And when you went to war, we still segregate. Can you imagine you going to fight for a country, and even in the army, they had you in segregation. You guys go over there. Y'all eat that food. Y'all sleep on those bunks. Can you imagine? Seriously.
There have been domestic acts of terrorism in this nation, not carried out by blacks. You know what I'm saying? Timothy McVeigh, all that stuff. But we're the ones that are dangerous?
Oh, stop it. It's just
we're the ones? Come on. And we know this isn't sports, but this is just ridiculous. And all those out there who love us, something's got to be done. And
just can't turn a blind eye to everything. It just
not
can't
addressing
happen.
this stuff is not going to change it. And so, black people are more than athletes and entertainers. They're human beings deserving of the same rights, privileges, and respect.
And that's
as
all we're talking
everybody
about.
Else.
Nothing. We're not asking for anything extra. Just the same rights of everybody else. Come on. That's all.
That's right. All right. More of the Odd Couple coming your way. Fox Sports Radio. And we were just talking about LeBron, and we both saluted him for speaking out, tweeting out on this death of this young black man in Georgia for merely jogging. And the people that killed him, Rob, they said he looked like a suspect.
Yeah, because he had on the jogging shorts and he was jogging.
Right.
That was a suspect, yeah.
Right.
He was doing something.
Sorry, that's not going to cut it. Justice must be served. All right. Anyway, one athlete who always spoke out, Rob, and because he wasn't as good as a LeBron James or a Michael Jordan in his sport, it cost him his career eventually. And that's Craig Hodges. And he came on his show, was it yesterday or 2 days
Monday.
ago, I believe?
It was Monday, I believe, yeah.
Yeah, Monday. And he was critical of his former teammate, Michael Jordan. Here he is.
One of the things as players, we call this a fraternity. So I'm watching. Okay, the first episode, I was upset about the cocaine circus. That bothered me because I'm thinking about the brothers who are on that picture with you who have to explain to their family members that they're getting ready to watch this Michael Jordan great documentary event, and they know that you're on the team with them. Now you got to explain that to a 12-year-old boy. Scottie Pippen part. Scottie was selfish. Come on, man. Come on. And then last night with Horace, that hurt me. And I'm letting MJ know, dude, man, that ain't right, dude. Not that one. Them other things, okay. But Horace didn't deserve to take the fall for Jordan rules. Now, MJ may know something else. And if you know Horace wrote it, tell us how Horace did it, for my sake. Because I'm your teammate, brother, just like they are. And I'm kind of salty about how everybody got interviewed but me.
All right. That
was the other part there that some people pointed to, because no wonder he's speaking up, because he didn't get interviewed. But I think Craig Hodges, just from the years and whatnot and what he's always done, he's a straight shooter, Chris. I'm sorry. I take him as a straight shooter.
You know, he's undoubtedly a straight shooter. I love what he stands for and what he stood for while he was a player. And he was also a good player. You know, he was a role player, but he was a good three-point shooter. Actually, a great three-point shooter, and played a role on those 2 championship teams he was on. I disagree, though, with some of his points about these things. One, we talked about the cocaine, and other people took issue with Jordan talking about that too. I didn't. Here's why. And I get where Craig's coming from. Like, yeah, it's got to be uncomfortable if you were on that team and you're sitting down to watch that with your son and this comes out. But here's what I say. Number one, Jordan wasn't exposing that for the first time. That was out. That was known. It was known that team used drugs, and that story was actually out there. And not because of Jordan, but it was just known. And so he wasn't the one to kind of, shine the light on that. That was already out there. 2, he didn't name names. And I thought it actually was a great teaching moment for young people when you can see the greatest basketball player of all time refuse the peer pressure. You're a rookie, your teammates are doing this, and you decided, no, my future's more important than that. No, if the cops come, I'm going to be in trouble just like the rest of them, even if I'm not doing it. I thought it was a good teachable moment for young people to see you don't have to buckle to peer pressure. So here's what I'd say to, the teammates who might be watching it with their young son and see that. Number one, you can use it as a teaching moment too. Yeah, son, if you were involved in that, I did do some things that, that were wrong at that time. I was young. It really, it hurt my career. It hurt me. It hurt my family. I would never do that again. And I'm telling you, you don't have to experiment with that stuff because I did it and there's nothing great or good about it. So you can use it as a teaching moment as well. As far as Scottie Pippen, yeah, I can get why a lot of people would say Jordan was wrong for calling Scottie out because Scottie was trying to get his money. I think Jordan was looking at it like, and I'm not trying to be an apologist for him, but Michael Jordan played under bad contracts for all but the last 2 years of his run in Chicago. And there were times where he wasn't even in the top 10 highest paid players in the league. And he always played it out. And then when the contract was up, he could re-up. And I think he was taking that same attitude towards Scottie and the rest of his teammates. Like, I played under bad contracts too. I get it. You're underpaid. You'll get paid next year. We go win another title. You'll get your money next year, just like Jordan did. But, and then with the Horace Grant, and I just quickly on this one, and you can go. I agree. Mike should only put that on Horace if he knows that was on Horace, and Horace denied it. So obviously somebody told Jordan it was Horace. For some reason he believes that. If he doesn't know it was Horace, he shouldn't have said Horace's name. But if he believes it's Horace, I got no problem with him saying it, because one, you're putting your name on it, and two, you're looking at it. If you think it's Horace, you're saying this dude was going to the press telling them stuff in the sanctity of our locker room that was just for us teammates, and he's giving it to the press. I'm not cool, and you're talking about me. So I'm not cool with that. Yeah, I'm going to call you out if he knows it's Horace.
The issue I have is the Scottie Pippen. It's easy for Michael to play with what he was making, because he was making a lot more off the court than the other guys. So it's a little easier for him to stomach it, Chris, whereas Scottie Pippen didn't have the same money coming in as Michael did. Would you agree with that?
Well, he certainly didn't have, the same.
You know what I
Michael
mean?
had.
Like that's what I'm saying. So
right.
Michael could have done that. Well, I'll wait until next year when I play better, and I'll get, for Scottie, maybe that didn't work. So I don't totally agree with Michael there. The naming, he didn't name anybody.
Right.
I don't have an issue with him talking about stuff that was going on in the NBA. And if you want to figure it out or go look around and go ask CBS why they put their games on tape delay, the championship during the early 80s, it was because of drugs. Everybody knows it. It was considered a drug league. It just was. Those are facts.
Jordan's hero, Rob, David Thompson's career was ruined because of drugs.
Absolutely. And the Horace Grant thing, again, if you have, he said it with confidence. Right. If you talk to somebody and and I don't know, you figure it out with Sam Smith and people figured it all out with stuff. Remember, people have planted stuff before to see where it's coming from, right, Chris? If there's a leak,
right.
You put a false story, you put something out there to see if it'll come out, and that's how you find out who's dropping dime, who's the snitch inside whatever situation you're in. So you don't know. He sounded pretty confident to point the finger at him, and because he put his name and face to it, I'm going to give that Jordan a pass on that. I don't have an issue. I think most stuff that's exposed like that is done anonymously, and Jordan didn't do it that way. So 2 of the 3 I don't have a big issue with, but the Scottie Pippen calling a guy who's really making a pittance, and yet Jordan's not making a lot, but he had other money coming in. It was easier for him to swallow.
It would be the Horace Grant stuff, Rob, would be like, let's say some magazine did an article on the Odd Couple, and it was incredibly negative toward you, right?
I would say that Rob G talked to the reporter, right?
Well, let's say you found out that it was, it was anonymous stuff and all this stuff, and say you found out it was me, that I was the source, and obviously I wouldn't do that, but say you found that out. How can I get mad if you go on radio, some other outlet or whatever, and you say that was Chris Broussard giving all that? How can I get mad if I went to them off the record and ratted on you, or you know what I mean? Like, come on. I'm just saying. Now, if it wasn't Horace, I feel bad for him. And if Jordan's not sure and, he doesn't really have any good reason to believe it's Horace, then that was wrong. But like you said, he said it with confidence.
He didn't flinch. He didn't say maybe. He said he had a good relationship with Sam Smith. That's what he said. And I mean, maybe there were other people to collaborate, and to confirm some other stuff that Horace said, because Sam's a through and through newspaper guy.
He was talking to more than one person.
He has to talk to one.
Yeah.
You can't do a one source. One source doesn't work. Okay, so there's no way he can write that with one source.
Right. That wasn't a story. That was a book.
No, it's a book. Right.
So yeah, there had to be more, but So yeah, I mean, and one thing, again, you got to respect Craig Hodges speaks his mind, and he said what he wanted to say, and I agree with him on a lot of things, but these I thought there were explanations for them, and and that's the thing too, when you're doing drugs like that, you like Jordan did, Rob, he thought of the ramifications. He said, if I go in there, even if I'm not doing it, I'm going, and the police come, I'm in trouble. My whole career could be ruined. And if guys doing that, if you're doing something illegal like that, and you think about the ramifications, one of them could be, what's my family gonna think? What are my kids gonna think? You know? And so now this is one of those ramifications. But still, you can turn it around into a positive. And so, but it made for an interesting topic for Craig to bring that up.
No doubt about it. I mean, and again, he's a straight shooter. He's willing to say, "Hey, Mike, I don't like that," and put it out there.
Yep.
And he admitted, at least he wasn't trying to hide anything, that he wasn't invited to speak on that, which is weird because we've heard from a lot of different bulls,
right?
That Craig didn't, but Craig was different. He walked to his own beat. You know what I mean? And maybe, I don't know. There hadn't been much video of him, right?
No, he hadn't been in there very much at all.
No, not really.
I mean, I think he's been there, you catch him here or there. But no, for the most part, hasn't been in there.